Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. It's 24 hours since Manchester United played against Bournemouth, and we're here to give you what we learned from the game, basically. I hope you enjoyed the last two episodes we released with regards to how Man United played, the match review show for Bournemouth, and the player reading show. Now we're going to do the takeaways from the game, and yeah. It's a tale of referee and VAR decisions. When you look back at the refereeing chaos, you look back at historical context and stuff, you get a sense of what is actually going on. A penalty for, a penalty against, an own goal in our favor, and a straight record for our captain to be, or for kind of like a leader in the squad in Harry Maguire, one of our best players this season when it comes to the defense, and the mature head there. You have that, and obviously you have a teenager being subbed on to make history at our expense, and that is Junior Krupi. And if you didn't kind of have a headache watching that game, especially the second half of the Vitality, then maybe you can start watching it again. But watching that game was really, really difficult, especially the second half, because of how the team played, and the whole situation as to the momentum of the game. So, like I said, welcome to the takeaway show. Manchester United just actually survived the Bournemouth hurricane, and we can say that we came away with a 2-2 draw, considering that last time we played them it was 4-4. And it feels like three different games packed into 90 minutes. 1 minute we're clinical and leading. The next we're screaming at our TV over a non-VAR call, a non-call on Amad, and then we're watching Harry Maguire, trudge off the pitch after a roller coaster of a week. Now it's a point gained in some sense, especially if we look at how we used our grit to show how we can be able to defend with 10 men, but it's actually 2 points dropped in the top 4 race that refuses to let us breathe. But when you look at the context with regards to how other teams around us did, then you can get a sense of an idea of how top 4 seems to be a little bit secure, especially in the third position. Chelsea dropped points. I mean, they lost. Liverpool lost as well. So these both teams lost, and they're far from us. The next team that we need to look out for is Liverpool. I mean, is Aston Villa. But it is what it is. So we're still third. We still got a 6-point cushion over Liverpool. Well, 7 points if you count that. But the gap is actually shrinking, and the drama is spiking. Today we're actually diving into that madness. We've got 5 massive takeaways on the tactical shifts and the officiating, and 3 bonus insights that you might actually have missed in the heart of the moment, and 3 positive spins, right, to keep us from spiraling before the international break. Honestly, when you look at it, and I was thinking just before I got on, before I started recording, I was like, they say it's 20 to 24 days before United play, but it's super interesting. 14 of those days is international break. And if there was no international break, we'll probably be 10 days away from the next game, because I think immediately after the international break, it is the FA Cup weekend. Well, so be it. So basically, we're going to do the 5 takeaways, 3 bonus insights, and 3 positive spins. So buckle up, and let's get into that Vitality Vortex to talk about all the chaos that went on at Vitality Stadium. First takeaway we're going to start with, especially with the 5 takeaways, is the Bruno Fernandes penalty era, and basically him being a legendary player for Man United. So we start with the man that remains the heartbeat of this squad, Bruno Fernandes. When Alex Jimenez pulled down Matheus Cunha, there was zero doubt as to who was stepping up. Bruno didn't just score. He moved up into 9th place all time for Premier League penalties record with 26. He's now ahead of Matt Letizia. And think about it for a second, in an era where every move is scrutinized. Bruno's reliability from the spots, kind of like the cheat code, but he was the one testing Petrovic in the first half, and he was the one who delivered the corner for the second goal. And he's quite literally carrying the creative burden on his shoulders. And the question now lies, where would we be without Bruno Fernandes this season with 8 goals and 16 assists? I don't know if they even count the one that he crossed that led to the own goal as an assist, but 8 goals, 16 assists, I've not counted the other one. So when you look at like apps and when you look at apps that give like specific stats and stuff, Bruno Fernandes is, I mean, we're looking at that now. Bruno Fernandes is kind of listed as having basically 16 assists. Let's have a look. But then, yeah, his top performer in Premier League so far is still listed as having 16 assists, right? And 8 whole assists over Ryan Cherki, who is next to him with 8, and Erling Haaland with 7. So, I mean, that says a lot. Now, takeaway number 2 is the officiating inconsistency that is the 12th man for the opposing team. We have talked about the swing. Michael Carrick looked fuming on the touchline, and rightfully so. The sequence where Amad went down under a challenge from Truffert looked like a stonewall penalty. Everybody saying it was a stonewall penalty, should have been given. Even if it wasn't given, it should have been called and checked by VR. Even like as things went, I mean, if I were Amad, I probably would grab that ball when I've been felled in the box. But the sequence was crazy, because if we were to score that goal, would have gone 2-0 up, but that swung everything, including the momentum of the game. If that was given, we'll likely go 2-0 up and the game will be buried, or probably even will be in the driver's seat. Instead, Stuart Atwell, who came out, or Pogba came out after the Burnley game to apologize that they did not, I think they did not give Licha Martinez's penalty. Is the same Stuart Atwell that turned away another penalty again, waves it off, and Bournemouth break almost immediately. I think we're talking about 6 to 8 seconds here, and Ryan Christie scores the goal. And this 10-point swing is in momentum caused by a single whistle, was what we saw that was evident there. And when the contest, and when you contrast that to when Harry Maguire got the red card, which was technically correct by the letter of the law, like, if you got to give something, just give it across board, right? It makes that non-call on Amad feel like robbery, and that's true. If you've got to give it, just give it. And then, because if you say, oh, because you gave Cunha a penalty and then give Harry Maguire a penalty, then if you give Cunha a penalty, why don't you give the player a yellow card or a red card? Or why don't you give him a red card? I think the guy got a yellow card. Just give him a red card. It's stopping a goal scoring opportunity, right? But no. So if you have to be consistent, make consistent across board. That is the situation, and it's super annoying to see. You know, that see the way that the team has, you know, the ref has, you know, refed the game, but it is what it is. So it felt like that non-penalty was a robbery. Then the next one, the takeaway number 3, is goalkeeping heroics that kept this as a contest, right? The game could easily have finished 4-4, like the last fixture at Old Trafford, if you look at the whole thing. But Georgi Petrovic was inspired for Bournemouth, denying Amad an incredible shot, the one that he dinked, and then obviously the Bruno effort in the first half as well, right? But then don't overlook Seno Lohmans as well. While he would be disappointed to be sent the wrong way twice on penalties, he's also saved his save on Ryan, you know, in the first half, and his command of the area in those frantic final 9 minutes of stoppage time saved the point. The truth is, yeah, let's give credit where credit is due. We were seeing 2 young keepers who are clearly the future of their respective clubs. But from a Man United perspective, St. Lamans was good on the day, just considered 2 goals, and that is what it is. One from a penalty, and the other one was from a goal. I mean, like, what could he have done? Anyway, it is what it is. I wish we defended really well because one of the balls went under Harry Maguire's legs. Then number 5, takeaway number 4. The top 4 race is a mental game right now. And that's the truth. Top 4 is a mental game. We are third. We have 6 points, a 6-point cushion, but the feel of the draw is heavy because of the red card. Now we've lost some ground with Liverpool potentially breathing down our necks, and now they're far off because they've lost as well. And they're in 5th. And Chelsea lost as well, so the gap is widening. And I think Everton is chasing them down. The margin for error has evaporated, but we cannot be losing another game again or dropping points. So, but the truth is, what we've learned today is that United still have that resilience, playing with 10 men and not like conceding a third, but we lack that killer instinct to put teams like Bournemouth away when we have them on the ropes. The final 8 games aren't going to be about tactics. They are going to be about who blinks first. Now, the thing about this is Bournemouth, we've faced them now 6 times and we've not been able to beat them. That's going to be a stain on our record, and the next time we face them, we have to beat them, and the next time has to be next season, obviously. Now, we're going to go to the bonus insights. I'm going to kind of run through this. First and foremost, we're going to talk about 3 bonus insights that most people didn't miss. The first one is the Tuchel England effect on Maguire. Harry Maguire's had a 0-0 day. He gets the call up from Thomas Tuchel's England along with Kobe Menu as well. Huge congrats to both of them, no doubt. And then he starts the game looking like a man possessed, blocking Evan Nielsen in the first half. But then the red card is a classic Maguire tragedy. He gets too close and he's half a step slow, and basically tugs the shirt or touched him. And Evan Nielsen is good at doing those things. He had a run at goal, could have easily scored or had an attempt, but just needed to get that penalty. Now, it's a day of mixed emotions that perfectly encapsulates his career. Absolute commitment followed by a moment of tactical agony. And basically that shows that we need an upgrade, especially in centre-back, no doubt. And I know why I said that, because obviously the speed of the game took him out and it's not a good look for us. But he's been good for the last couple of games under Michael Carrick, right? The next insight is Mateusz Cunha's gravity, basically. Mateusz Cunha has been very immense in this team. He's been the outlet. And I mean, him and Amad have been the outlet for this team. And it will be unjust for us to actually not acknowledge the fact that these guys, Mateusz Cunha and Amad, have been immense. We have watch them, and they have created so many opportunities for others, but then they've also been able to create chances for themselves. Mateusz Cunha driving forward, holding up play and doing the right things was key. If you watch the replay of the first penalty, you notice what Cunha does before the foul. He's become a monster of drawing the contact. I mean, this is what we've not known him to do. His 1-2s with Bruno and becoming our most dangerous weapon. And he didn't just get the goal today, but he won the first goal. His presence forces defenders into mistakes, and his chemistry with the skipper is the only reason we look like we're scoring in a cagey first half. And yeah, that was a good one for Mateusz Cunha, right? And the truth is, we have to call it out because he's been good. He's been immense for us. Now, if you look at takeaway number, if you look at insight number 3, bonus insight number 3, the away goal streak, right? The stats don't lie, but here's a stat for the nerds. Manchester United have now scored in every single Premier League away match since mid-September, but we just don't seem to score to win away games. At least the last. We've won only 2 in 8 away games, right? Now, this is an incredible raw consistency, even on days like this when the midfield felt, bypassed and the defense was in shambles. The team finds a way to hit the back of the net. But if we can fix the leak at the back, then we're a title contending side. But I said this after the game, I said we can't go into next season with this type of team. We can't go into the next season with this team. Now the attack is ready, but the structure is still under construction. You might want to look at it from that perspective based on the fact that, yeah, we've sorted out the attack, but we also need to sort out defense. Now, let's talk about 3 positive spins. Positive spin number 1 is backs to the wall masterclass, basically. You want to see character, you look at the final 9 minutes plus 9 minutes of stoppage time, down to 10 men, away from home against a team that hasn't lost in 11 games, right? Most United teams of the past 5 years would have probably folded and probably lost 3-2 like we did against Newcastle, even though we're not down to 10 men, but Newcastle were down 10 men and still beat us. So yeah, this side dug it in, we kept our shape, we weathered the storm, and we claimed a crucial point. And this is just me trying to be positive about the game and not kind of go on a rant and all of that. Now, that grit in the game is what gets you over the line for Champions League qualification. And it was good that we didn't lose, but then teams around us lost, right? Chelsea and Liverpool lost, so that gives us a cushion and we have an opportunity. And then obviously positive spin number 2 is basically Bruno breaking records. Obviously, like every week he seems to break one record. Every week we find a new milestone for our captain. Moving up into the top 10 for all-time Premier League penalties is massive. He puts him in company of legends, and then we aren't just watching a great player, we're watching a future Hall of Famer, build his legacy in real time. Having a leader who doesn't blink under pressure of probably VAR checked penalty is a luxury. A few teams actually would love to have. I mean, Kopama today would probably need that opportunity to get the penalty, seeing as he scored more penalty than Bruno this season, and all of that. Then the next one is the Bournemouth unbeaten streak is probably legit. And we have to give credit to Antonio Raiola. Let's give credit to the Cherries. Let's give them some respect. They're unbeaten in 11, and to go to their ground and come away with a point when they are in the form of their lives is not a disaster. The truth is they've drawn more games than that. The draw specialists of this season. If you remember those days when we still have the Stokes of this day and all, and even Southampton, they'll draw like 5, 6, 7, 8 games, right? But they're in the top half. They're top half side right now, sitting 10th, and they're playing like probably looking for Europe or Europa League, basically. Now, drawing there is a respectable result, especially given the officiating chaos, and we didn't lose the run. We just shared the spoils with a very good team, and we have to give them credit because the way they played with so much. I mean, Bruno came out to say basically that they pinned us back. I mean, they made sure we couldn't play out, but it's a good thing that we at least come off with a point and didn't lose the game, and we've continued to, draw, get results. So basically, my final take from all of this is that the dust settles at the Vitality Stadium with a 2-2 draw, a point that keeps us in the driver's seat for third, but also a red card that leaves us thin at the back for the next match, especially considering that we don't have any defenders ready. Even for Licha Martinez that is back, I wouldn't even put him back in the starting lineup. I would just probably start preparing with Aiden Heaven and Lenny Euro, because those guys are already the future of our backline. So might as well just start them already and start preparing for next season with them at the helm. I'll probably get one more defender to just kind of add that competition, because I mean, Maguire obviously is aging. He's going to be good as a squad player. Licha Martinez cannot stay fit to save his life, so probably just have to bin him. And then Matthias de Ligt is not back as well, so we're not going to be relying on just having only this number of players. We need to at least get some 2 or 3 players that would solidify our backline, and probably add one from the academy or something, just to give us options at the back, because we don't want us to be continuing this season with this kind of backline. So it is what it is. We definitely need players. So the question of the day is pretty simple, but the answer is actually complicated. Was Harry Maguire's red card a fair call? Everybody says yes, it is. But if you have to give that red card, then you have to give that penalty against Amad. Now, did the non-call on Amad just minutes earlier make it impossible to accept? And that's a fact. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What did you guys think about that non-call on Amad. And looking ahead with Maguire suspended, who are you starting at the back, at the centre back? I already gave my thoughts. I think we just only have two, so might as well just use those two. We don't have the depth, so I don't even need to ask you for trusted depth because we're going to be sweating through the next 90 minutes. But we trusted in heaven. He's pretty good. He's pretty solid. He just hasn't had enough games to play. So maybe during this next 22 days, he's going to be preparing himself. Probably even get a call up as well for England. Maybe he would get some game and then some game time and then build his momentum and rhythm. So drop your thoughts in the comment section. I want to hear some of the tactical fixes that we can use for that defense. And smash the like button if you're still backing Carrick to bring that top four berth for us. And also subscribe to United Talks for the best post-match therapy on YouTube, basically, just to find the best positives that we can get from the game. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't already, like I said, do like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. We're still third, we're still fighting, and we're still united. Glory, glory, Manchester United. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.